Today we'll be looking at how to easily add bendy limbs to our character creator for character in AdvancedSkeleton. It's a fairly simple process and it's one that I'll definitely be implementing in my projects moving forward. So let's dive into it, and please remember to like, subscribe, and share the video if you like what you're seeing. Let's get into Maya. So I'm here in Maya, and what we have is a character creator for character that I already brought into Maya and already attached to an AdvancedSkeleton body and face rig. If you haven't checked out my previous video, please go check that out. That describes that whole process in full detail. What we'll be doing today is expanding on that process. So I have my character here. As you can see, it already moves around, full control, and that may be all that you need. We have the arms, we have FK, IK, everything works, facial rig, it works pretty great. But what we lack is the ability to do some more cartoony things. Now, depending on your project, you might not want these limbs, and that's completely fine. But if you're looking to do a big stylized thing, it's nice to have that control to be able to really push certain shots and certain motions. Now, full transparency, I ran into a few issues when I was looking to do this process on my own. I reached out to AdvancedSkeleton on Facebook Messenger, and they were very quick in getting back to me and provided me with an alpha version of the code that fixed these issues. I assume that they will be implementing that in a further update, but for now, if that has not been implemented, I would highly recommend reaching out to AdvancedSkeleton about that code if you would like to go forward with this process. They've been absolutely amazing every time that I've been reaching out, and I can't thank them enough. Okay, so we have our character. And our first step is we are going to go into AdvancedSkeleton. So if it's not already open, go to your shelf, hit the button, and here's our tools. We're going to navigate to body, and this might be closed, so we're going to open it up. We're going to go to the build section. Now there's toggle fit and then advanced. That basically is just going to change from the fit mode to the fully rigged animating mode. So we are going to toggle fit, and you're going to see there's a bunch of joints just overlapping, and it's a little messy. Again, in the previous version, we were bringing our character creator for character into Maya and using that skeleton as a base. So our CC base skeleton is still here. We will eventually transfer this to the AdvancedSkeleton rig, but for now, I'm just going to select the root bone and I'm going to hide it. So here we have our AdvancedSkeleton fit skeleton. What I'm going to do is there's just going to be 4 joints that we have to adjust. It's the shoulder, the elbow, the hip, and the knee. If I go to the shoulder, you'll see there's an attribute here called Bendy joints. It's currently off, so we are going to put this to on. These joints already have them there. There's nothing that you have to do to add these to it. But what we're doing by turning it on is telling AdvancedSkeleton, when you rebuild, I want bendy joints. So now, after we've done that, we can go and hit rebuild AdvancedSkeleton. That'll kind of walk through the process a little bit again, but it's going to rebuild and it's going to add controllers and add the necessary joints for our bendy limbs. You can already see there's more here. So now that that process is done, we have bendy limbs, and it's pretty great. We can do this, we can stretch it. So if we turn on stretchy here, we can stretch it out and go pretty crazy with it, which is a lot of fun. I'm just going to undo that and bring it back. The issue here is that we have our CC base skeleton still there, so it's still driving things in that, as opposed to the actual joints here. So if you see what I have highlighted, if I move this, these joints are driving the character creator skeleton, and while yes it works, it might not be as clean as we can get. So we're just going to undo that, and what I'm going to do is go over to tools in AdvancedSkeleton and go to name matcher. It's important that you have the character already in, as name matcher will actually automatically populate the template for Character Creator 4 once it recognizes the skeleton. I'm going to scroll all the way down, and the only button that we're going to need to hit is Transfer Skinning. We're going to get this note here. It's just saying that AdvancedSkeleton and Character Creator 4, there are a few joints in Character Creator 4 that don't necessarily line up with AdvancedSkeleton's hierarchy. It's just going to parent it to the AdvancedSkeleton rig, and that's completely fine. So we're going to hit OK. And after that, you'll see our CC base skeleton goes away. I'm just going to hide the deformation system. And now it is completely transferred over. If I actually bring that back, you'll see that it's just these joints that are driving it. So I'm going to hide that. And the next step that I want to do, and this is just refining, you might be fine with the results here, but if I move some of these and I turn on, let's say wireframe unshaded, you'll see when we're looking at our edge loops and in our whole topology, it doesn't look too bad, but there might be just some moments that are a little janky. So you'll see a little bit of stretching here and everything. And it's not too bad, but we can make it better. So I'm going to go into rigging, and I have a tool that I like to use. It's called Brave Rabbit Smooth Weights. It's a very easy tool that allows us to smooth all of the weighting in a very user-friendly way. So I'm going to select the geometry, and I'm going to go to Skin and Paint Smooth Weights tool. If you download the tool, it is completely free and it's absolutely amazing, so I highly recommend it. It will install under Skinning under your Rigging tab. So Paint Smooth Weights tool, and now if I middle mouse drag to the side, it'll adjust the brush size. If you middle mouse and go up and down, it will be brush strength. But the beauty about this tool is that you actually don't need to select certain joints to see what it is. So if you just move a controller and you get that deformation, I can now go in, might have to increase depending on what it is. You can go in and you can start to smooth out those sections. You'll see it just start to move a little bit. Sometimes you might need to have a smaller brush or a larger brush. It all depends on the area that you are looking to affect. So you can see it just start to smooth and start to a little bit of ease back into it. But it really makes these bendy limbs a lot smoother, a lot curvier, which is what we're looking for. So now, if I just take that controller, it's looking a lot better from before. So you tend to get it a lot on the arms. So if I go here, I'm just going to go hit this. I'll bring my brush size down because we don't need it as much. This makes these arms much, much smoother. I find the arms kind of get it the worst out of it. So let's make sure I'm at 100% strength. Here we go. So that's better. Now I was saying that I had the alpha version of the code. Here's a few things that you might experience if you don't have this version of the code. When you're looking to transfer the skinning from the character creator skeleton to the advanced skeleton, you're going to get some weird weighting on the face, and all of these points just drop down and it stretches, and it's a pain to clean up, sometimes impossible. It was almost like deleting some of the face occasionally. So that's something that you might run into. And another thing that you might run into is that when you rebuild the advanced skeleton with the bendy limbs, the face controls aren't parented properly to follow the head again. So if you move that head, that whole entire face just remains. There are ways around both of these fixes, but obviously having it be automatic is much better. I hope you like seeing this process and hope that you'll get some use out of it in future projects of yours. If you use this in a project, please send it my way. I'd love to see what you guys are creating with this newfound knowledge. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one.